So you've just started our program and this is your first workout, and I'm going to explain to you how all of these moves today work. We're going to do some exercises that are purely based on strength. We're also going to do some exercises that will be based around the core and abdominal section, and you'll find that this is going to be a tough workout to begin with, but for day one we're going to really push ourselves and finish strong, and then we'll see how it is for day 2 and day 3. I think each day in our program is going to be different, so just keep that in mind. What you do today will not be what you do on the next workout day. Alright guys, before we start this workout, we're going to start with a beautiful warm-up, and this warm-up I like to do before any workout I get started with. So how do we start with the warm-up? It's very simple. We start with the neck, work our way to our shoulders, then hit our hips, and then we start moving our knees. Let's see how we begin. Okay, we're going to start doing 10 circles with our head. We're going to do 10 circles to the right, going in this direction to the right, and then 10 circles into the left direction. All right, you might feel a little dizzy, so make sure you got your hands on your hips or your hands out and to the side, just for a bit of balance. All right, now after doing 10 circles to the right and 10 circles to the left, we're now going to move on to 10 arm circles. Now, going in a circle with your arms forward. Once you've counted to 10, we're going to do 10 circles backwards. All right, so once you've done 10 circles backwards, it's time to move on to our hips. Our hips, we're going to first do 10 circles on our right side, outward circles. We don't do inward circles, we're gonna do outward circles. Because inward circles, we're going to be crunching that hip flexor too much in. I want you to just close and open. So closing and opening, closing and opening. 10 circles to the right, 10 circles to the left. All right, guys, I'm sure you're probably feeling warmed up by now. Now we're just going to start with a nice simple squat hold. I like to get my feet open at a 45 degree, and I like to bend my knees, hinge my hips forward, hands in front of me, and I'll hold for as long as I can count. Sometimes I like to count 30 seconds in my head, and I'll go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You can go 1 Thailand, 2 Thailand, or you can just take your watch or your phone and time yourself for 30 seconds. I usually do about a 30-second hold. After that, I stand up, shake my legs a little bit, and then I start with my 2 favorite warm-up exercises. So my first warm-up exercise that I love to do is called a bird dog. Bird dogs are awesome to do because it really balances out the core. What often happens is when we get back pain, we usually have a hip imbalance, and this can really help solve these problems. So we're going to start with core stability, which is the bird dog. And what we're going to do is get onto our hands and knees. We're going to straighten our leg, and we don't bring it all the way above our hips or above our head. We just bring it a few inches off the ground, 1 or 2, 3 inches off the ground, and flex your foot. And then we're going to hold this position. So your right leg is going to be up and your left arm will be at the up. We're doing opposite sides, and you're going to squeeze that left hand into a fist and hold this position for 30 seconds. Again, you can time yourself for 30 seconds with a clock or your phone or your watch, or you can just count 30 seconds in your head, very slow. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, up to you. After you've done both sides, we're then going to do our second exercise, and our second exercise is called a bear crawl. The bear crawl we're going to be doing a few times. We're going to do 20 steps. So what we're going to do is get your knees off the floor, just a few inches off the floor, not too much, and then you're going to walk on your toes and hands. We're going to go right foot up, left foot, left hand, right foot up. And well, that already counts as 1, 2 steps. Then we're going to go back. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go all the way until we go to 20. Once we've done these 2 exercises, I usually like to do it for 1 set. If I do not feel warm, I do it for 2 sets. So for our strength exercises, we've got 4 of them. And for each exercise, we're going to do 4 sets, and we're going to do 8 reps. All right, so your first exercise is going to be a power kettlebell swing. Awesome. So what we're going to be using in this exercise is your hips, hamstrings, glutes. We're going to be using a lot of hip hinge movement here. Keeping your core nice and tight and strong will really help accentuate the glutes and squeeze the glutes really hard. It helps a lot with this type of control. So let's get started. First, what we're gonna do is pick up your kettlebell. Now, if you have a dumbbell, you can also hold a dumbbell upside down. If you also maybe have something like a sandbag, you can hold the sandbag as well upside down, or you can hold the sandbag with a wider stance and do a bigger swing with a wider stance. And if you've just got a kettlebell like me, I can show you how to use the kettlebell. So the kettlebell here, we're gonna hold between your legs. Now your legs, you're just gonna stand about shoulder width apart, all right? And if you can go a little bit wider than your shoulders, you might find that even a little bit more comfortable for some people, because some people might have wider hips than others. All right, so how do we start? I usually like to start with just bending your knees, all right? Now when I bend my knees, the momentum is coming back. And then when I want to bring the momentum to swing the weight up, I fire my hips forward. Now, I'm not using my arms to lift the weight. I'm using my hips very explosively to shoot this weight up. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like from the side. Okay, from the side, as I said before, I get to a shoulder width stance. My hips are quite wide, so I'm going to actually stand a little bit wider than my hips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees. Okay, and that brings the momentum back down. All right, so the momentum starts to swing back. And then I squeeze my glutes explosively to throw this kettlebell all the way up. All right, now you can go as high as you can throw it. Some people go really high. Some people just go enough, just what the glutes can shoot forward. All right, so remember, we're gonna be doing 8 repetitions of this exercise for 4 sets. I've included a rest time in your program, so please check the rest time. All right, guys, we're moving on to our second exercise, and this second exercise is a deadlift to high pull. So another hinge hip movement. We're going to be in another hinge hip movement, and we're also going to be incorporating the shoulders and arms here for a bit, because we're going to pull this kettlebell all the way from the ground all the way up. Now, another tip about this exercise is you want to keep the hands underneath your chin, but your elbows can come as high as your ears. All right, so I usually say as a tip, hands under the chin, but elbows to the ears, okay? Now, how we're gonna do this exercise is what I said before from the start of this video is we're doing 4 sets and we're doing 8 reps per exercise. So that includes this one. You will get a 30-second rest between each set, as for all of the strength exercises in this video, okay? How do we start? So like I said before, it's a hip hinge movement, which means we have to bend the knees and we've got to push the hips backwards. Now, while pushing the hips backwards, do not stare at the ground, because then your chest is going to cave in and your back is going to round. You're going to want to be looking forward or looking just in front of you. You want to keep your chin up and you want to keep your chest out so that your back remains nice and straight. We're going to bend the knees until we get to the ground and we'll get into the kettlebell. From the kettlebell, we're going to shoot up and pull all the way underneath our chin. Remember, hands under your chin and elbows to your ears. Ready? 3, 2, and this is rep number 1, all the way up, boom, and down. Now you don't have to hold like I did. All you can do is just shoot up and down. All right, now I'm gonna just show you what it looks like from the side. So remember, we're gonna stand with our feet shoulder width apart or wider, depending on how wide your hips are. You're going to bend the knees, hinge the hips backwards, all right, keeping your torso and your abdominal section tight and your torso straight. We're going to come down, grabbing that weight. We're going to explode up, under the chin, elbow to the ears, and down. One more time, all the way up and down. All right, we're going to do 8 reps, 4 sets, 30-second rest. Let's go. Okay, so we're on our 3rd exercise for today. We're gonna be doing a very difficult one. This is called a double squat. Why? Because we're actually gonna be picking the weight up from the ground, entering into a squat position and squatting all the way up. It's gonna be very tough on your legs and your glutes, so you're definitely gonna feel it. You're also going to have to brace your core every time you pick the weight up, because you're gonna have to keep your core tight so that your back remains straight. I'm gonna show you some tips right now how to do this. Now, if you have a power bag or a power wave bag or a sandbag, It's very easy, it should have handles, and all you're going to be doing is picking the sandbag up, throwing the bag over your hands onto your arms, and then standing all the way up. You're going to then lower the bag all the way to the ground. First straighten your arms, then squatting back to the ground to that deadlift position, and then doing the exact same thing. Throwing the weight up, bag comes over, you catch the bag in your arms, and then you squat down and stand up. Now I'm going to show you what it would look like with a kettlebell, and I'll show you what it looks like with dumbbells or plates in your hands. So firstly, we'll start off with the kettlebell. Now the kettlebell is going to look pretty easy. We're going to start with the kettlebell facing this way, and we're going to come to the ground. I usually like to start with the kettlebell or the bag in between my legs. That's right, so it's in the middle of my feet. Okay, so how I'm going to start is I'm going to grab this kettlebell and I'm going to drop down, and as I pick the weight up, my body is going to lower and the weight is going to come up and my body is going to go underneath the weight. So from here, down and up. Very easy and smooth. I lower the weight first and then I lower my body to the ground. One more time. So I come back down, I take a deep breath, and then I'm going to, as I said before, throw the weight up. As I pick the weight up, my body will lower underneath the weight and I will stand up holding the weight. So let's go again. So from here, up with the weight, underneath the weight, and stand up. All right, now I'm going to show you what it would look like if you were holding dumbbells or a bag or weights. So you'll start from the ground and you'll pick it up and underneath and stand. All right, one more just from the side. All right, so remember you start with your hands or the weight in line with the middle of your feet. From here, you're going to stand, weight underneath you, and stand up. Okay, one more time. Middle of my feet, back straight, weight up, get underneath the weight, and stand up. And that's it. That's your double squat. Remember, 4 sets, and we're going to do 8 reps of this exercise, taking 30-second rest break after each set. All right, guys, so this is your final strength exercise for today, and it's going to be the shoulder press. Very good for the shoulders and the delts and the chest. What's going to be here, I know we don't always like to build big arms, especially if we're the ladies in the group here, but you do need to build that upper body strength. All right, very important. So for today's upper body strength, you can either use a sandbag, like I said before, you can use a bar, a kettlebell, or dumbbells, or just weights, weight plates, and I'm going to show you how to use them. So I'm going to start off with the weight plates. If you are using the weight plates, you can do 2 weight plates at the same time, especially if they're light. So you can hold the weights in your hand. All right, from here, you're going to push all the way up above your head, and picture a triangle. Top of the triangle is above your head, and the bottom of the triangle coming on the sides by your shoulders, close to your shoulders. From here, all the way up and all the way down. Now what also I like to do is I like to try and remain in nice L shape in my arm, or try and keep a 45 degree in my arm, or a 90 degree in my arm is also safe. And you can either do it this way or that way. The heavier it gets, I suggest you go more 90 so that your elbow is underneath you to support you anyway. So you're going to be pushing all the way up for a triangle and all the way down. Now remember, we're doing 8 reps of this exercise and 4 sets of this exercise. All right. If you're going to use a kettlebell, use the kettlebell like this. All right, so this is also a shoulder press with the kettlebells. I'm holding the kettlebell and I'm pressing all the way above my head. All right. And if you had a normal sandbag, you can hold the sandbag just in front of your face here, but in front of your chest, and push all the way above your head. Remember, 8 repetitions, 4 sets. You only get 30-second rest in between each set. Let's do it. Well done, guys. You did really well on that strength movement. You did all the exercise perfectly, and I'm sure you guys felt it as much as what I did. So next, we're going to move on to our core. Core and abdominal section is going to be really tough. We're going to be doing 3 exercises back to back, and then you will get a rest in between. So you'll be doing 3 exercises as round 1, and you'll do all of these exercises without rest. Only after 3 exercises, you'll then get a rest. You'll move on to round 2. How it looks is you're going to be doing a Russian twist. You got three options for the Russian twist. You can either keep your legs straight if you're a total beginner. If you're still getting into intermediate, then you can start to lift your knees up and balance on your heels and glutes. And if you're starting to become more advanced or feel stronger after these few days, you can then lift your feet in the air and twist, Russian twist like this. Okay, that is going to be a Russian twist. Your next exercise is going to be a scissors. Scissors, I want nice and big leg movements. So a lot of beginners like to take their hands and put underneath their glutes for back support. And I want nice and big strides. All right, we're gonna go all the way to 20. After this exercise, we're going to then move on to an ab compression. Ab compressions are extremely tough if you do it right. You should be shaking through this exercise. If you're not shaking, you're not pushing. So how it looks is you're going to put your legs in the air at a 90 degree. You're going to force your legs towards your chest or your chin, and you're going to force your hands to push the legs away from your head. So how it will look is I will get my arms. You don't want to lock your arms because then you're not really pushing. You want to be able to bend your arms and push your legs away. So 3, 2, 1, and I start pushing and I'm pushing. You can see how my body shakes and wobbles. It's very important to breathe through this exercise. You see I'm pushing my legs towards my head and I'm pushing my legs away from my head so that I'm using my core this whole time. Now what it does, it helps both compression in the core and your abdominal section. Really tries to vacuum the core in, will really suck all these muscles and get you that thinner waist that you're looking for. All right, guys, let's see how you do. Okay, guys, really good job today with this workout. Let's finish off with a quick stretch, a couple stretches I like to do. One tip on stretching, it is important to stretch after workout, but however, it is not as effective as stretching after the workout, like within 45 minutes or an hour after the workout. With your head, we're going to look up and stretch as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to stretch the neck to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go back to this first stretch where we lean back, but we're going to have your hands interlocked behind your head. All right, so we're going to lean all the way back, open those elbows, and let your body feel like it's falling backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to take your right hand on your left side of your head, gently pull your head to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go other side. Gently pull it to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to get those arms interlocked, and you're just going to close your elbows and bring your head down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Okay, next we're going to just loosen up a little bit of our shoulders. So we're going to start with over the chest, and you're going to pull your arm across your body, and you can even give a slight twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go to the other side. Over your chest and pull in for a little stretch. Turn, twist a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little squat. We're going to do a little stretch. So we're going to touch your toes. That's it, touching your toes. Very good. Try and lift your chest as high as you can. And look up. Take deep breaths. And then we're going to come all the way to the ground. Taking a nice deep squat. That's right. All right, in this deep squat position, we're going to twist your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. After this, we're going to turn onto your knee. So you can put your right knee on the ground, left foot forward. And we're going to stretch that hip flexor. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go all the way back and stretch that hamstring. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to turn onto the other knee. Start off with a nice hip flexor stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way back. And a nice hamstring stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you next time when we work out on our second workout of the week. Awesome. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you soon.